you always remind me you're the only one who brings me peace. You're the only one who brings me peace. I'm so forgetful, but you always remind me you're the only one who brings me peace. You're the only one who brings me peace. So I come, Lord, I come, I come, Lord, I come to tell you I love you, to tell you I need you, to tell you there's no better place for me than in your arms, to tell you I'm sorry for running in circles, for placing my focus on the waves, not on your face. You're the only one who brings me peace. You're the only one who brings me peace. I'm so forgetful, but you always remind me you're the only one who brings me peace. You're the only one who brings me peace. So I come, Lord, I come, I come, Lord, I come to tell you I love you, to tell you I need you, to tell you there's no better place for me than in your arms, to tell you I'm sorry for running in circles, for placing my focus on the waves, not on your face. You're the only one who brings me peace. You're the only one who brings me peace in the storm. In the storm. I'm so forgetful, but you always remind me you're the only one who brings me peace. You're the only one who brings me peace.
Rooted Men, good morning. Pastor G, firmly rooted Greendale. How are you guys? Happy September. Hard to believe, September already. I'm excited. My mother's in town from Dallas, and we are going to see the Ark encounter today. Super excited. Our girls and I, and my wife and I, we've been just every mealtime we go through a devotion, and it is so awesome to see the girls' faith just come alive. And now to actually go and visit this life-size replica of the Ark is just, I'm just really praying that our girls will just be in awe of their God, of our God, right? Of how big He is, and yeah. So anyway, I'm excited. Yeah, super cool devotion this morning. I'm really really excited to jump in. We're going to learn about testing through fire. Of all things, my mom, when she came, she gave me this book about God's refining fire. She didn't know this was going to be the devotion for today, but there it is. I just feel that's the Lord moving in a powerful way. So anyway, guys, so glad you're here. Let's dig in. I'm going to share my screen with you here, and we'll get going. So here we are, 1 Peter chapter 1, verses 6 through 9, refined like gold. In this you rejoice, though now for a little while, if necessary, you have been grieved by various trials, so that the tested genuineness of your faith, more precious than gold that perishes, though it is tested by fire, may be found to result in praise and glory and honor at the revelation of Jesus Christ. Though you have not seen him, you love him. Though you do not now see him, you believe in him and rejoice with joy that is inexpressible and filled with glory, obtaining the outcome of your faith, the salvation of your souls. So, guys, as you probably gathered, I want to focus now on the gold here. So let's talk through this. One of the keys to understanding this passage is understanding the refining process. Peter is saying that the genuineness of our faith, and you hear jewelers talk about the genuineness of a diamond, okay, or of precious metals, the genuineness of your faith, Peter is saying, is now more precious than gold. So gold, one of the obviously one of the most precious metals in the world, but he's saying even that perishes. Okay, gold is going to perish ultimately, though it is tested by fire. So what does that mean to be tested by fire? You're probably familiar with this, but I thought I'd just go ahead and show you the process of gold being refined. So as I understand it, as I kind of been researching it, the chunk of rock that contains the gold is put into this crucible, and the crucible is made of such a metal or some type of a rock that's able to withstand incredibly high temperatures. Okay, so the rock, the piece of rock, is inside here, and then the crucible is put into the kiln or whatever type of furnace is used then to create such a heat that anything that is not of pure gold is burned up. And what happens then is, again, to my understanding, is that dross sort of floats to the surface, and then the metallurgist or whoever it is takes a rod and actually skims the dross off of the surface and removes it. And the gold, which is heavier, that stays at the bottom, so that it's then able to be poured into a cylinder or whatever it is, which then it cools and it hardens, and that's the pure gold that you have. Now, obviously, it's more involved than that. It's kind of a crude illustration that I'm sharing, but that's essentially the process. Now, how is that applicable? Well, to me, that's so cool, because when you think about it, guys, the trials of our lives, right? God is using them to burn off anything that is not pure, okay? Anything that is, not godly. I think about the persecuted church, and I think about how they are, really persecution purifies God's church, because anybody who's not in it for the right reasons is going to get out as soon as the temperature gets hot, right? Because if it's not of real value to you, why are you going to stay in it? Why are you going to suffer for Christ? You're not. So we are precious in God's sight, but he uses these trials to make our preciousness seen to the world. And so one of the most beautiful pictures right now is God's persecuted church that is suffering these great trials. They are shining for the Lord. And guys, guess what? We get to shine too as we go through trials. Now, something really cool. I'm not sure all of the details on this, but I'm told that especially with refining silver, the person who is refining it will wait until he can see his image in the silver. That's how he knows that the temperature has been hot enough that is able to then be removed from the heat. And so obviously the illustration there being of the Lord who sees his image in us. We are the made in the image of God. So lots of different illustrations here. I hope that's helpful, guys, but just an encouragement to you to stay in whatever trial you're in. God is using it for your good, for his glory. His purposes are higher than ours. His ways are higher than ours. We don't always understand it, but just to remember that just because you're suffering doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. In fact, most likely it means that you're doing something right. So is that a blessing? I hope it is. Guys, have a firmly rooted day, and may someone see Jesus in us today. Peace to you, brothers.